So, we all stood in the gym in one long horizontal line, all starting in the exact same place. But as soon as the privilege walk activity began, all its participants began to slowly disperse across the ring floor. Take one step back if you've ever experienced job discrimination based on your race, gender, or sexuality. Most moved, you would stay put. Take one step forward if you've ever got a job through a family contact. Some step, some don't. Take a step back if you've ever been unable to enroll in classes at Duke because your bursar's account was in such bad standing. And your footsteps, some move back. You see, the further you move forward in the privilege walk, the less you can see. The further you move back, however, the more aware you become of everyone around you and where you're positioned at every step. Take one step forward if you've never been afraid to hold your romantic partner's hand or walking down the quad. Steps. Take a step back, however, if growing up, there were times when your family didn't have food to put on the table. I don't believe it. I hear people stepping back. How are there people stepping back? We go to Duke. Without hesitation, I look over my shoulder, and I immediately feel like shit. Look, it's none of my business what's going on behind me. For the rest of the activity, I about to just stare at that blank space in front. Yeah. So, I hit the front wall of the gym pretty early on. I was one of two guys in a group of 50 who ended up at the front wall essentially permanently. I was a straight, upper-class man. I lead a pretty unmarked life. As I stood with my toes up against a grey brick, the feeling that every pair of eyes in the room was looking at my back made me feel extremely uncomfortable. Especially since there were even more people who had hit the back wall. When it came time for group reflection, I felt the need to say something. I raised my hand and I spoke out loud to the group. Look, this is not who I am. Just because I'm up here does not mean that I have no depth to me or that I've never struggled. I tried explaining that, yes, I come from wealth. But money isn't something I define myself by, or even associate myself with. Money doesn't define my identity. I didn't realize until late in the session just how absolutely unwelcome that comment had been, or how it had invalidated others' experiences. You see, this girl at the back stood up and called me out. How dare you? Imply that just because you don't have to think about money on a daily basis, that it doesn't in any way define you. Because that would mean that just because I do have to think about money on a day-to-day basis, that it does define a large chunk of me. In my attempt to explain myself out of this naive, upper-class, entitled stereotype, I had landed myself right in a little bit. Case and point. Others can't separate themselves from identity marks like socioeconomic status. It's what made me think I could. Privilege is the ability to be unaware of things that mark others' daily experiences. Because to be truly aware requires consciously looking back, or at least listening for the footsteps. I don't believe that most people are purposely racist, sexist, or homophobic. They just simply aren't aware of how their actions impact others because their identity mark has placed them in separate realities. I think that the first step in working against the system is to try our best to be less ignorant of our own ignorance. I now get there are things that I will never understand. That doesn't mean I have to just throw my hands up in the air. It means that it's time to try a little harder, to claim my privilege so I can begin trying to figure out how to check it. It's certainly harder